listening to Philly Sports Pulse with Jesse Sharon and Adam Den, powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on into Philly Sports Pulse. Alongside Adam Den, I'm Jesse Sharon. Welcome on in, everybody. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow Philly Sports Pulse on Instagram. It's coming out with some great content over there. But we got a busy show today. Eagles-Ravens is on Saturday. The schedule is out. Adam just acquired Sixers Heat tickets, which is awesome. We will be talking about not exactly the Field of Dreams game, but big because as of right now, the Phillies don't necessarily deserve our praise and attention. We're talking about the best sports movie ever. And Adam is a fantastic guy to get opinions on that. But Adam, how we doing, man?
Doing fantastic, brother. It's a great weekend of Philly sports, just with the Eagles back in action. I'm excited for preseason action night, and like you said, Field of Dreams. You know, you don't get very many of these, even as good as the Phillies have been. You don't get many opportunities to play baseball on a national stage in a game that means as much as that one means. So it's going to be really exciting tonight, man.
Yeah. Let's get into Eagles-Ravens first. Mm-hmm. On Saturday, first preseason game of 2026. Football is back. I'm not necessarily the biggest preseason guy, but what are your thoughts on this game? What are your things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, just the biggest thing out of every preseason game that you'll see is kind of the competitions from camp. And you're going to see a bunch of positional battles across the Philadelphia Eagles offense and defense that have been battled out at practice, and you've been looking at your tweets, seeing the reports, but now you're going to see it come to fruition. The biggest one that I've kind of had my eye on is the safety position. We know that Andrew Makuba is going to be starting on the right side, but who's going to be starting on the other side? Is that going to be Michael Carter? Is that going to be Marcus Epps? And so I think that's going to be a key battle that I'm going to be watching. Carter supposedly has had a really good training camp. He's a guy who has a lot of experience at the nickel position, and that could easily slide into the safety. But Epps played up and down a year ago, but I think better than I expected him to, and he certainly knows the scheme as a safety better than Michael Carter does. So I think that's going to be an interesting battle to watch. And then on offense, I think the wide receiver 3 position is continually interesting. The Eagles have had Mekhi Lemon miss a lot of time, and he'll probably be starting anyways. Dontavion Wicks has supposedly had a fantastic camp and won that battle, but, you know, could Hollywood Brown sneak into the mix? Elijah Moore supposedly has had a really good camp as well. Everybody's raving about Darius Cooper every single day. I'm excited to see him in action. So I think both skill position groups on both sides of the ball will be incredibly interesting to watch in that game.
And I think to add to that point, on the offensive line, and I don't know how many snaps he's going to get. Because, again, week 1 of preseason, Markel Bell, our prized possession during the draft. The one thing that I think during the draft, a lot of people wanted the Eagles to pick, and they got him. And he's a big boy, and he can, give you results when needed, especially going in the year where Lane Johnson said that this is probably his last year. The cornerstone of this offensive line gone. And what does that mean? That probably means that you need guys like Jordan Mailata to take a bigger step in the right direction. And overall, you just need to make this a healthier year all around for the interior line. And it's also interesting because now you don't have a legend in Jeff Stoutland. So I'm really interested to see how our offensive line coach is perceived and going forward, not just on Saturday, but going forward for the rest of the year. I think this is obviously a year where people expect a lot out of Jalen Hurts, and a lot of that goes into protecting the quarterback. And if you're not a healthy offensive line, you're not protecting the quarterback. Jalen, like we saw last year, had to scramble out of the pocket a ton, and then he got immediately destroyed a lot of the time from sacks or whatever, or throwing balls, in places he shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So going to be a very interesting time, at least, I think, on the offensive line portion of it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Jess. I think Bell is a guy who I wasn't super high on in the draft because he had the physical profile, but was a little antsy when it came to actual pass production. But I think outside of training camp, the talk has been that he's been absolutely incredible so far, and I think they're going to really focus on getting him as many reps as possible in order to get him NFL experience in these games. I'm expecting him to play probably 2, maybe even 3/4 of this one, so it'll be interesting to watch him, and I think the shifts in how this offensive line operates as well. Now, preseason games are known to not show you very much because, you don't want to give away all your secrets, but the amount of checks that the Eagles offensive line is going to be making at the line of scrimmage in comparison to a Jeff Stoutland run game where basically all of the onus fell on them to determine how a defense was reacting to them is very different. And they've talked about that a lot. So I'm excited to see that in action. And if this starting offensive line does play, are there a lot of procedural penalties? Are they still kind of working through the kinks? How smooth does it look operationally in comparison to not just how it did a year ago, but how it has throughout camp, in just making sure that you know what's going on and when defenders are coming?
Yeah. Now, moving on from the Eagles to the Sixers. And the schedule is out. Opening night at the Garden against the Knicks, the defending champions. You've also got some really good NBA Cup games. You've got the Pacers, who are going to be healthy. The Heat, all of the top teams in the East. You essentially got them. What game, if you had to narrow it down to like one or two that we've seen so far, which game are you circling on your calendar and you're like, I got to watch this one?
Yeah. I think that we've seen so far, Jess, it's got to be opening night, right? You've got the defending champs in town, and, that matchup is going to look a lot different in May when these two teams potentially play than it will in October. But just to get the opening glimpse of LeBron James in the 76ers jersey and have a chance to really upset that New York Knicks team on a night that is so special, not just to that team, but to that city and to the game of basketball. I think that is a really special marquee matchup, and I'm glad the NBA came through with that. But I will also say, and I think this is going to be posted by the time this is posted, the schedule will probably be out. It comes out at 3 p.m. The game that I am most excited for is still whenever the Sixers play Boston first. And I think, the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum of it all, LeBron James's history with that Boston franchise is kind of, their worst enemy who has tortured them in the past. I think that makes for just an incredibly exciting matchup, and I can't wait to see those two teams face off.
Now, this is sort of unrelated, but do you have your LeBron or Jaylen Brown jerseys yet?
I do not, Jess. This is actually, I was surprised this was not a Philly Sports Pulse topic that was brought up. I was very much waiting for my black Allen Iverson era LeBron James jersey, and then it was announced yesterday that there will be no black Allen Iverson era jerseys, even though the NBA just a year ago changed their rules to allow the Minnesota Timberwolves to wear their alternate jerseys. Now, my friend Atham Avaditis, shout out to Broad Street Benchwarmers, he is a uniform geek, so he gave me some kind of long-winded breakdown that explained that the 76ers cannot wear them because of some kind of Nike contract, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know, Jess. I got to wait now because I'm like, maybe I'll get one of the cream ones. I like those, but I really want one of those black ones.
Dude, they're the best. This is all Nike as far as I'm concerned, man. It
always is.
This is such an L.
With the jerseys, it always is. They ruin everything.
What are your like? I did hear that the Sixers are going to bring back the red ones. And I've been on Twitter a lot, NBA Twitter, Sixers Twitter. There's something I don't get. I looked in the comments in like a post about it. People hate it. People hate it for whatever reason, and I don't get the beef. What's the beef?
Jess, I will tell you the beef. I will explain. There was a young lad who was about, I would say, this was 2018, so he was about 14 years old, and he decided to purchase his first ever Philadelphia 76ers jersey, and it was a red Ben Simmons jersey. Now, ignore the Ben Simmons of it all for a second. It was a red jersey, and he decided that he was going to wear it for the most important game of the Philadelphia 76ers franchise, in which they would be facing off against the Toronto Raptors and wearing those same jerseys. And it was Game 7. And guess what happened? I'll leave it there.
Oh my God! Was that 14-year-old a certain person to my right?
Yeah, I won't name any names, but you know.
And that must be why. Because one of the comments that I saw was that it was cursed.
It is. It is very much cursed. There's no escaping it. They've rebranded them over the years. They're a little cleaner. They have a Jordan logo in the corner to distract you. They can't distract you from it, Jess. The demons stay.
What about the cream? Because I remember those days with the JJ Redick, and those were the fun days.
Those are good.
I like that we have that back.
Yeah, no, I agree. Those are good jerseys, and I think in any other circumstance, I would be pro cream jersey. But man, seeing those Black Allen Iverson courts and the jerseys and the energy around that building, and just now having the second best player ever playing for your franchise, it seems like it would have been the perfect opportunity. And it's hard to believe they couldn't find one little loophole to make it happen,
Well, do you think, though, I mean, we've still got, 70 days until the NBA season starts? I would think that they're at least going to have a conversation about it by then, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it's possible, but, he signed a month ago, right? They've had a lot of time to have these conversations. So it's, I will buy my cream LeBron James jersey, and my smile will be grinning ear to ear because he's a Philadelphia 76er. I can't believe that, but
yeah, you're not going with the traditional, the plain Jane blue one?
I have too many blues. I have a I don't know if you remember 76ers legend Mike Scott, but I have a Mike Scott jersey, and I have a Joel blue. So we gotta mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right. Let's get into another passionate topic of yours. Something that I swear I've known you for years, and I didn't know that you are a movie extraordinaire.
I try.
You are, and this is great because the Field of Dreams game is tonight. Phillies Twins. But we'll see if they get it in, because apparently it's supposed to rain a ton in Iowa tonight. Yeah. But wanted to go through with you. This is a very tough question.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the best sports movie?
Well, it's hard, Jess, because what do you define as a sports movie? What are our parameters here? Is a sports movie a movie where sports happens, or is it a movie that involves sports? This is usually a tough debate.
Right. I think, to me, a sports movie is one where think about this, because I'm thinking 42, it's not exactly about sports, but
well, does the central conflict have to revolve around a sports game being played?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if it does, my answer is probably Rocky 3. I think that is kind of probably the peak Rocky movie. I like Rocky 2 better. That's probably my favorite Rocky movie, but I think Rocky 3 is the perfect example of the formula, right? It's, you get that crazy performance from Mr. T as the evil villain. You get a great, probably one of the best training montages. The story is good. It's one of the first sports movies to have I'm retiring, but maybe not plot. I think it is the perfect Rocky movie. If it's not, I really, really love both of the Safdie brothers movies, and Uncut Gems is an incredible, incredible movie that I think everyone should watch and revolves around the Philadelphia 76ers in its own way.
Well, here's my thing about Rocky and the whole sports thing. Mike, if you see this, I'm sorry. Doran, if you see this, I'm sorry. I don't consider wrestling a sport.
It's boxing.
I know it
boxing.
Technically. I don't know. I read boxing. I don't consider boxing a sport. I know technically it is, but I don't know, man. I don't consider it a sport.
You okay? You're right, Jess.
I know. I just don't.
What is the reasoning behind this?
I think the reasoning is, I know it's technically not the definition, but how do I put this? Because then,
is it about it not having a ball involved?
I think that is what it comes down to. If you're not using a ball, yeah, I would say that. So you're gonna kill me and be like, oh, Jess, is swimming a sport? And yeah, no, yeah, I know that's exactly how this is gonna go. But I don't know. I just I didn't. This is not exactly how I envisioned this conversation going, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't know what I would call it. Is my thing.
I'll tell you what. You're going to come over and we're going to watch Ali Frazier, and your life is going to change and you're going to regret everything you just said.
All right. That is totally fine with me. Yeah.
That's the plan.
I will openly admit, live here on 302 Birds.
Yep.
Yeah, your boy has not seen a Rocky movie. Yes, I'm an idiot. Yes, I'm a fraud. I completely understand.
We're going to fix it. But you got to see the real thing, too. There's a lot of exciting boxing going around right now, and even some exciting boxers that are from the Philly area. So we got to get you tapped in. And UFC coming to Philadelphia in a couple weeks. So
see, here's the other thing with the whole boxing thing. My experience with boxing, and it's very, 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 very limited, thing. It's WWE based, man.
Yeah, that's not.
No,
I mean, it is wrestling, but if you were to say that you don't consider that a sport, I would disagree, because I think there's a level of performance that while doing it that allows you to rise to the top of it, right? But I would somewhat understand where you're coming from, because it is somewhat constructed and it is scripted.
So, do you consider banana ball a sport? Because we're going to be seeing next year with the whole lockout crap. I put money down on this. We're going to be seeing a ton of banana ball.
Yeah, you know what?
Is that a sport?
I cannot stand watching banana ball. It drives me nuts. But I would consider it a sport.
Yeah. Okay, that's another thing. I disagree. I like banana ball, but that's here or there. That is a conversation that we can totally have another day. At least on my end, and this is coming from, and Adam knows this, the guy that is not exactly movie centered for whatever reason. I'm gonna go with 42. I am. I just think that it intertwines the whole racism and baseball thing. Not exactly, but almost exactly as, it was like back in the 40s and 50s. Maybe mainly mainly 40s and all. But Uh, no, not 40s. In the late 19 in the 1900s, we'll say that. I don't know. I just think they intertwine both of those elements perfectly. Obviously, shout out Bozeman.
Yeah,
Dude's a goat.
yeah.
But
He's really incredible, and he's incredible in that movie, and we miss him very dearly. He's pretty awesome.
Yeah. What about the Field of Dreams game, or what about the Field of Dreams movie? Though, where would you rank it in terms of baseball movies?
In terms of baseball, I don't know. My favorite baseball movie is probably Moneyball. Moneyball is very special. I like Major League. I like Bull Durham. So probably around third or fourth. I like The Sandlot too. It's definitely not my favorite baseball movie, and it's kind of goofy and silly, and it is special though because it captures kind of the magic in its own way, and I think that is meaningful. If you haven't seen it though, and have you seen this, Jess? It's called Ethos. Came out a couple years ago. Very, very good baseball movie. Very underrated. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Gives me a lot of Field of Dreams vibes. It's about some old people. I guess not all of them are old people, but a lot of old people who decide to play a baseball game at a park that's closing, and they play it, and the game ends up going on for like 24 hours, and it's kind of insane. But great movie.
What like Back to the Future type?
You gotta watch it to understand. You gotta watch it.
All right.
But Ethos, EEPHUS. Great movie.
Okay. Yeah, it really is unbelievable how uncultured I am. I haven't seen a single football movie, which is like, yeah, no, I know nothing.
You haven't seen Any Given Sunday?
Nope. Yeah, I know, Adam. It's a crime against humanity.
Any Given Sunday is a certified classic. Most football movies are bad. I will say that. There are not many good football movies, but Any Given Sunday is. We got to get you on.
I know. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our final topic of today's show. It is Sixers related again, and it is about the wild ticket prices for opening night. Opening night against the New York Knicks, and I phoned in. I called into the main show last night about this. I got some blowback from Dalt and KJ about this opening night. It's going to be not $1,000.
It's not
just to
it's
get
not
into the building.
It's not.
It's almost $2,000.
No, it's not. It's not anymore. Hold on.
What?
I can tell you what it is. It's gone down.
It
is
has
$304. It's $304. I've been tracking.
It has.
Yeah.
Okay.
$304.
Still, it's
a lot
to get in.
Yep. Worst seats in the house. It's a lot.
That's insane.
It's
insane.
But look, though, you have to take the full scene, right? And this is one of the biggest, if not potentially the biggest, if they end up really making something of it, event in Philadelphia sports history. If LeBron James comes in that building and, it's his first appearance as a Philadelphia 76er. And consider the fact that with the way the NBA works at the current moment, and, people are going to whine and complain, and I don't whine and complain about it because I believe it's essential, but there is a lot of load management in this league, and LeBron James is 41 years old, and there are a lot of injuries in this league because of the horrible 82-game schedule. So I think one guaranteed chance at seeing LeBron James in a Philadelphia 76ers jersey, if you want it, you got to go to that game. And so $300 demand makes sense to me.
Well,
I mean, that's as much as I would have to hypothetically pay for an Eagles game. And I would rather go see LeBron's first game as a Philadelphia 76er than go to an Eagles game. I would.
That is
absolutely would.
That's crazy to hear from
I'm
you,
going to.
Especially.
I'm going to. I probably will. I will probably end up. I'm probably not going to an Eagles game this year, and I'm probably gonna spend that on seeing LeBron.
That is
just how it goes.
You know what? No, that just goes to show how much of an impact that LeBron James is going to have. He's not just going to have an impact on the court, right?
Yeah.
He came out with a shoe last night.
Yeah.
That's probably already sold out. He's going to be, bringing business back to this city. The impact that LeBron James has, it goes beyond the court. It really does, man.
Yeah, man. It certainly does. And that's, for all you can say about the Michael Jordan, LeBron, blah, 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 and it kills me every time I got to talk about it. But, LeBron as a brand has started to approach Michael Jordan as a brand in a very unique way, in which those are really the only two guys who have ever reached that level in which they are a brand like that. Kobe approached it in his own right, but I think those two guys are known all across the world in such a unique way that it creates a draw in which it's a must-see experience, and I'm excited to hopefully get that must-see experience.
And it's crazy too, because I was just thinking about this the other day. Nobody remembers how that Knicks series ended just a few months ago.
Yeah.
We got swept.
Yeah,
nobody remembers that now.
Yeah, it's a completely different team. And you can argue that's for the better. You can argue that's for the worse, right? You can, think about how this team still has serious flaws defensively and be like, oh man, it's probably not good that we're forgetting about that. We should probably be chasing down the buyout market for some kind of wing that's going to be helpful and making sure OG Anunoby doesn't hit 8 threes or whatever he hit in game 3, right? But you can also just think about the fact that your favorite basketball team just acquired Jaylen Brown and LeBron James and could be one of, if everyone stays healthy, one of the best offenses in basketball and contend for a championship. And it's beautiful, Jess.
It really is. So we are getting ever closer to Sixers basketball. Even it came out the other day that the Blue Coats, they are putting out tryouts for people, apparently.
Yeah.
Which
we should
is
go.
Crazy.
We should go, Jess.
Me?
Go? Yeah.
Brother, are you out of your mind?
We should go.
Do you want me to? I mean, I'm going.
Nobody says you can't.
It's pretty close to. I can't. It's physically possible.
Does it say it on the piece of paper that says, "Can you try out"?
I mean, I can, right? But
exactly
the embarrassment that'll come from that when people see my 3-point attempts. It's just not.
I think it makes great content, to be honest. I think the people want to see us try out.
That's true. Are you a baller? Are you
God.
Sinai a baller?
My basketball comparison that I usually make to people is Patrick Beverley. I have 6 fouls. I use them. There's some tenacious defense going on. We can dribble back and forth. We stand in the corner most of the time.
How do you get fouled if you're nowhere close to 7 feet tall?
We are active in all passing lanes, and we certainly go over ball screens as physically as possible. So,
Oh my God. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I mean, I probably, I'll tell you this. If I was an NBA basketball player, I would get the most fouls calls ever. I mean, I built like Wizard Shack? Or is it Boston Shack?
Boston Shack. Or Phoenix Shack.
My frame is Phoenix Shack. with that tank of a wheelchair, it's not thin by any stretch of the imagination. But
hey,
oh my
rim
God.
protector.
Yes, sir. I'd be an elite goalie.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But okay. That's gonna wrap things up.
The people want to see it.
They really do. I'm wondering if he's going to text me later, and he's going to be like, because the Blue Coats, they followed 302 Birds the other day, apparently. So, I don't know, maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign. I don't know.
You'll see me on the court in December. Be ready.
Oh, my God. All right, guys. What up? Thank you all for watching this edition of Philly Sports Pulse. If you haven't followed our Instagram already, Philly Sports Pulse on Instagram, it's philly.sports.pulse on Instagram. That's us. We're coming out with bangers on top of bangers on top of bangers. But yeah, also follow 302 Birds, obviously, on all the platforms. But we're here too. But want to thank you all for watching. Alongside Adam, I'm Jesse. And as always, let's go Sixers.